Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. If you're interested in the real stories behind the glamour, stay with me because today's one left many people speechless. Today, we're talking about Can Yaman, but not because of a series or a scene, rather because of a confession that changed the tone of an entire show. During his latest TV appearance, he dropped a short, brutal sentence that froze the studio. Love was an illusion. And it didn't sound like a provocation. You could see the melancholy in his eyes, the trembling voice, the pauses, as if he wasn't acting, but facing something he'd kept inside for years. He even said that what he had long believed was real was in fact a professional script, a constructed story. The strongest part is that he didn't name names, but from that moment on, the same questions started growing in the hallways. Who was that love story written for, and who was pulling the strings? Because, according to rumors, there was an episode from the past that was never made public. Ken allegedly discovered that a relationship promoted as a great love was actually an image project, a strategy to control the public and public opinion. And when that truth comes out, it doesn't just break a relationship, it shatters trust. What you believed, what you defended, what you opened with your heart. He himself hinted at a devastating idea. If he had known there was an agreement behind what they made him live through, he would never have taken the first step. And here comes another bomb circulating backstage. During an argument, a woman very close to him, according to leaked versions, allegedly said a sentence that destroyed him from the inside. "You're just a stepping stone for my career." After that, they say he shut himself inside his home for several days, speaking to no one, sinking into silence. And for the people around him, the worst part wasn't the breakup. It was realizing that, in the eyes of the woman he loved, he was merely a tool. In the middle of it all, Can left another line hanging in the air, one that many repeat as the summary of his pain. Being alone at the top is harder than being abandoned at the bottom. And there you saw the human being, not the idol. The most emotional moment came when he spoke about his mother. With tears in his eyes, he recalled the advice she had repeated for years. Listen to your heart. But he admitted that, with so much noise around him, he could no longer hear it. He also said it was his family who held him up, and that he now looks at life with different eyes. He even confessed something that explains why he built walls for years. He said he was willing to sacrifice his career for love, and that feeling used marked him deeply. But today, he claims those walls are falling, and he no longer intends to hide his wounds. And for those expecting a public war or a response from an ex-partner, Can was direct. His words are not an attack. They are a declaration of freedom. He doesn't want to fight. He wants closure. After the broadcast, the entertainment world exploded. Social media filled with comments in seconds, and fans split. Some applaud his honesty, others fear dark doors may open. And the most interesting part, people say the shockwave also hit producers, agents, and image teams. Because the idea of contracted feelings works like an uncomfortable mirror for many. And here's the twist. That inner change, as people say, could show up in his career too. There are rumors that he wants to move away from romantic roles and focus on darker, more complex, more realistic characters. Even with an anti-hero profile in international projects. So the big question isn't what happened, but what path will Can Yaman choose now after breaking the silence? Because sometimes the strongest storms don't start with a shout, They start when someone finally tells the truth in a low voice. Honestly, every time the topic "Can Yaman and Demet Özdemir" comes up again, I feel a mix of fatigue and curiosity, more because of the circus built around it than the relationship itself. I completely understand those who say, "It's exhausting." It feels like the same headline gets recycled over and over, even if the reality is much simpler and probably far less dramatic. To me, it seems Can is chased by an endless narrative of exes and reunions because it sells, not because there's necessarily anything real to report. If I focus on Can Yaman, what I see is someone in a strong professional moment. And that's exactly why he becomes the perfect target for any rumor. Some comments put it clearly. He's in a wonderful phase of his career. And it's frustrating that people keep dragging him back into gossip territory, as if his work were secondary. That feels unfair to me, because the spotlight should be on what he's building as an actor, not on whether he liked someone's post or followed someone again. It's incredible how, on social media, a tiny gesture turns into proof of a reconciliation, a pregnancy, or a new soap opera chapter. I'm also bothered by the double standard around private life. Many people say, "I don't care. Personal life should stay private." And I partly agree. Not because people can't comment, but because constant exposure ends up distorting everything. In Turkey, and this feels very true, the romantic life of a public figure rarely truly ends. It becomes permanent fiction. The idea settles that a story always continues, even if the relationship no longer exists. And that's where Can gets trapped in a script he didn't write. Also, it strikes me how quickly some people shift from admiration to contempt. In the comments, you see supportive, affectionate messages, even praising his mother and family, alongside others accusing him of being fake or lying. Personally, I don't buy those absolute labels so easily. I don't know what happens behind closed doors, so I'd rather judge the character less and look more at the pattern. When someone grows and becomes more visible, noise and suspicion automatically appear. They're not trustworthy anymore, as if success has to be paid for with a constant campaign of distrust. And about Demet, honestly, I think her name gets used as leverage to keep Can inside a romantic narrative that hooks the audience. But if there's something I take from all this, it's the opposite. Can should be able to close chapters without the public demanding an endless sequel. If a story ends, let it end. The rest are fan projections, social media interpretations, and theories born from following, unfollowing, liking, or a mother interacting with someone. That's far too fragile a ground to assert anything seriously. In short, my impression is that Can Yaman is paying the typical price of being highly visible and heavily watched. While his career moves forward, gossip tries to pull him backward to keep him tied to a constant romantic drama. If I have to choose, I'll stick with the simplest version: less soap opera, more work, and a bit more respect for boundaries. Because in the end, private life shouldn't be a mandatory spectacle, and talent shouldn't be buried under the noise.